Her husband was sharp at breakfast, reading the paper, cracking a joke. But that evening, he turned to her, calm and certain, and asked why there were children playing in the garden. There were no children. And a few nights later, he began shouting and swinging his arms in his sleep, acting out a dream so vividly he nearly fell out of bed. Here's what almost no family knows. This may not be confusion, or a bad dream, or just getting older. These can be early signs of Lewy body dementia, the second most common form of dementia, and unlike Alzheimer's, it often doesn't start with memory at all. It starts with things nobody connects to dementia. So today, I'm counting down 8 early signs of Lewy body dementia. Watch for number 3 especially. It can appear years before anything else, while everyone's still asleep. And number 1 is the sign that gives this disease its name. One thing before we start. This video is for awareness, not diagnosis. If you see these signs in someone you love, the answer is always the same. See a doctor. No single sign here confirms anything. But here's why Lewy body dementia is so often missed for years. In Alzheimer's, memory goes first, so families know to worry. In Lewy body, memory can stay fairly strong early on. Instead, the first signs show up in sleep, in movement, in mood, even in the sense of smell. So families chase the wrong explanations. They see a sleep problem, a Parkinson's problem, an anxiety problem. They almost never see dementia. And getting the name right matters enormously because, as you'll see at number 2, the wrong medication can be dangerous. Let's count them down. It often begins with the body, not the mind. A once brisk walker starts to shuffle. Their steps get shorter, one arm stops swinging. Their face becomes less expressive, flatter, harder to read. Maybe a slight tremble in the hands at rest. This is Parkinsonism, and in Lewy body dementia, it shows up alongside the thinking changes, sometimes before them. It's why this disease is so often mistaken for Parkinson's at first. The same faulty protein deposits, called Lewy bodies, that affect movement in Parkinson's are also spreading through the brain's thinking centers. What families miss is the combination. They take mom to the doctor for stiffness or a tremor, treat it as a movement problem, and no one asks about her sleep, her attention, or whether she's seeing things. If movement changes appear alongside any of the other signs we'll cover, that combination deserves a careful look. Here's one nobody links to the brain. Sudden dizziness on standing, near fainting, or falls that seem to come from nowhere. Their blood pressure swings. They feel lightheaded getting up from a chair. Lewy body dementia damages the automatic nervous system, the part that quietly runs blood pressure, heart rate, and digestion without us thinking about it. So the body struggles to keep blood pressure steady, and the person gets dizzy or drops. Repeated unexplained falls in an older adult are never just clumsiness. Paired with any other sign here, they can be an early clue. This one is a hallmark, and it's heartbreaking to watch. 1 hour, your father is lucid, holding a real conversation. An hour later, he's staring into space, drowsy, confused, barely responsive, as if someone dimmed the lights inside him. Then, just as suddenly, he's back. Doctors call these fluctuations inattention and alertness, and they're one of the most telling early signs of Lewy body dementia. Families agonize over them because the good moments make you think everything's fine, and the bad ones feel like they came out of nowhere. Some caregivers describe staring spells, or their loved ones sleeping much of the day, then being wide awake and sharp at odd hours. What makes this so easy to misread is exactly that inconsistency. A doctor sees them on a good hour and finds nothing wrong. If you're seeing these swings, keep a simple diary. Note the good stretches and the foggy ones and roughly when they happen. That record helps a doctor see the pattern you're living with. Their eyes are fine, but something's off. They reach for a glass and misjudge it. They get turned around in a place they know well. They have trouble telling how far away things are, or struggle with a simple puzzle they used to love. Lewy body dementia hits the brain's visual processing areas early, the parts that build your sense of space and distance. That's also part of why the hallucinations we'll get to make sense. The visual brain is under attack. When these spatial slip-ups appear alongside the other signs, they point somewhere more specific than aging eyes. Two quiet signs that can arrive years early and that no one connects to the brain: a loss of smell and constipation that won't budge. It sounds strange, but the same disease process that reaches the brain often shows up first in the nerves of the nose and the gut. Food starts to taste flat. The digestive system slows to a crawl. On their own, these mean little. Plenty of things cause them. But looking back, many families realize these small changes were the earliest whispers of all, long before anyone thought the word dementia. Here's the sign families miss most, because it happens while everyone's asleep. Years, sometimes decades before anything else, the person begins to physically act out their dreams. They shout, punch, kick, thrash, sometimes hitting a bed partner or falling out of bed, all while sound asleep. This is called REM sleep behavior disorder. Normally, your body is paralyzed during dreaming, so you don't act dreams out. In Lewy body dementia, that protective switch fails early, and the person lives out the dream physically. It is one of the strongest early warning signs we know of, and it's almost always written off as nightmares, stress, or he's always been a restless sleeper. If someone you love is acting out dreams, especially violently or hurting themselves, or a partner, that is worth a doctor's attention on its own. It can be the earliest window of all, and recognizing it early changes everything about how the years ahead are handled. This is the sign that can save a life, so please hear it. People with Lewy body dementia are often severely, dangerously sensitive to certain medications, especially some antipsychotics that are commonly given for confusion, agitation, or hallucinations. Here's the tragedy that plays out. A loved one gets confused or sees things. They're taken to the ER, and they're given a standard antipsychotic to calm them. But in Lewy body dementia, that drug can trigger a catastrophic reaction: sudden rigid stiffness, a steep drop in function, sometimes life-threatening. The very medication meant to help can do terrible harm. So if any of these other signs are present, and a doctor reaches for an antipsychotic, it is absolutely fair, necessary, even, to ask, could this be Lewy body dementia, and is this medication safe? That single question has protected countless families. Knowing the name of the disease isn't academic here, it's safety. And here's the sign that gives this disease its name and defines it: vivid, detailed visual hallucinations, often early, often while the person is otherwise lucid. They're usually not frightening at first. People see children playing, a cat on the couch, a stranger sitting in a chair, relatives who've passed. Clear, specific, and utterly real to them. What's striking is that early on, the person may even know it isn't real and describe it calmly. This happens because Lewy body disease attacks the visual brain directly, so it generates images that aren't there. Families almost always mistake the first hallucinations for a one-time confusion, a medication side effect, or a mind playing tricks. But recurring, detailed visual hallucinations, especially alongside the sleep, movement, and attention changes we've covered, are the clearest signature of Lewy body dementia there is. Never argue someone out of what they're seeing, it's real to them. But do write it down and take it to a doctor. If you're recognizing several of these in someone you love, don't panic, but don't wait. Do 3 things. Write it down: the hallucinations, the sleep, the good and bad hours, when each started. See the doctor, documentation in hand, and say the words out loud. Could this be Lewy body dementia? Because it changes the treatment and the safety. And protect them from the wrong medications by making sure every doctor and ER knows this is on the table. Lewy body dementia is hard, and it's often missed for years. But a family that recognizes it early can avoid dangerous medications, plan for the fluctuations, and meet the hallucinations with calm instead of fear. That knowledge is a real gift. So, if the story at the start sounded familiar, the garden that's empty, the dreams acted out in the dark, the sharp hour and the foggy one, Now you know what it might be saying, and you know the one question that can keep someone safe. In the description, I've gathered resources to help you take the first step. And if no one has told you today, the care you're giving and the attention you're paying is its own quiet act of love. Tell me in the comments, which of these 8 surprised you most? If this helped, watch our video on the early signs of vascular dementia, another type that hides in plain sight. And to understand where all of this fits, watch our video on the 7 stages of dementia and the early window most families miss.